want to say this before today's episode begins. Number one,
Okay.
Bean, I love you. And I want you to understand something. You do this because you love it, and you do it because you want to. You don't owe anybody apologies for anything. If your mental health is the most important thing. And I want you to know that if you need to take time to figure out what you're doing, then you take the time to figure out what you're doing. You're building a community, you're trying to make people happy, and I get that. But at the same time, I want you to know that we all love you, we all care about you. Focus on you first, and the rest second. That's it.
We love you, Bean.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Breaking Bells. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, joined by the amazing, the wonderful Holly.
Hello.
Okay, anyway. Holly.
Just mixing it up a bit.
Holly, I got a question for you. I'm curious.
Yeah.
Has the way that you play Animal Crossing today changed from the way you've played previous Animal Crossing games?
Oh, this is a difficult question because I feel the main parts of Animal Crossing are, and the kind of aim is always going to be very similar, regardless of what Animal Crossing game you play. I think in New Horizons, we live a less disciplined life. You know, we can choose where we want things to go. We can, well, apart from the plaza, but we won't talk about that. We can choose who comes, who goes, you know, villagers. But this, I don't know, that's so difficult because I just feel like it's very different to how I've played previous games because the previous games have been very different.
Well, I mean, the previous games were different but the same.
Yes, exactly.
This one it's Animal Crossing, but it's very different.
Yeah.
What I realized today was when this topic came to me, I realized that I don't fish or catch bugs the way I used to.
No, I don't.
I literally used to spend every waking hour trying to fill that museum. And I don't anymore.
I don't either.
I used to, like, as the end of the month used to come up, I used to be like, okay, what bugs are missing? I need to catch them. I need to go through. And then at the beginning of the next month, I would literally go, okay, I need to catch these bugs. When the weekends hit, when Saturdays and Sundays hit, my whole focus was on, I'm going to spend hours hunting these particular fish or bugs. Yeah. So I would basically catch as much as I possibly could early in the month. So when the month ended, I never had to worry about it. I don't do that no more.
I don't either. I never fish or anything really anymore.
I do, but not at the ferocity that I did before.
Yeah.
I feel like this time my whole focus is decorating and designing and doing stuff like that. And it's totally different than the way I've ever played Animal Crossing games.
Yeah.
The weird thing, too, is in previous Animal Crossing games, I was all about the interior of my house. The way it looks, everything had to be perfect. This, I don't care. I've
barely touched my house. I'm at 1,000 hours just over, and I've barely touched it.
I mean, I've thrown stuff all over the place inside the house.
Yeah, I'm dumping stuff. I go in there, dump some things, some DIYs that I don't need, and then I'm like, right, okay, cool. I think because in previous games, that was the only thing that you could really move stuff about.
You could decorate,
Yeah, whereas now it's more like creating outdoor spaces. And, you know, when people come to my island, no one goes in my house. We just don't go in my house. We just don't.
No, and before that was always like, oh, let me see your house.
Yeah, let's come. Yeah, but it's
nobody
just not anymore. Oh, it's so weird when you think about it, how different that is.
Drastically different. I mean, it's drastically different. I mean, not even that. Like, let's look at it this way. Another thing that I used to do that I never do now. Yeah. I used to make sure I go talk to every one of my villagers.
Oh, I'm awful for that.
And I used to, like, if they gave me gifts, I'd go do the fetch quests.
Oh, yeah.
No, I don't do anything. Like, the other day, this is no lie, Gail pissed off the third person on the island. She came to me, and she's like, Bobby, can you take this present over to them to make... Like, nope, do it yourself. Like, I got no time for you no
But
more.
do you like Gail though? I feel like you're not.
Well, I didn't until I saw her singing in front of the town square one day.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, she's got a place in your
When-
heart now.
Well, because what happened was I didn't realize they would sing the songs. I didn't realize that you could put they always sang in the middle of the town square, but it's this obnoxious, boring thing. I'm like, just shut up. And then the other day, I was building a couple of weeks ago. Now I was building an extension off of my my entrance.
Yeah.
And as I build it, they're singing, and it was driving me bonkers. And I'm like, please shut them up. I can't stand them singing. And then I was like, this particular area, I want to have mood music.
Yeah.
So Emily had said to me, like, well, go get some bamboo speakers and put them behind the trees, because I had 2 trees. So just put them on the other side of the tree, and then you'll get your music, your mood music. I was like, perfect. Well, I drop it, and the next thing you know, they were singing the song, and I was like, oh my, I literally just started changing songs. And every time I change a song, they'd sing. I was like, I love it now.
There we go. Yeah, that is the thing.
But that worn off with me now, because she's just whatever. But she'll go.
Yeah.
She's going with the apocalypse.
I never really. Sounds bad, but I just don't really talk to my villagers much, at all. And if I find a missing item, I'd rather use those as decor. Like I've put the lost item books in places because they look nice, and I haven't got any pictures yet. I haven't gifted them anything on purpose that I think, oh well, that will they'll look good in that.
Well, I've done is if I've gone into a place and they're looking at something, if it's one of my favorites, I will buy that item for them.
Yeah, I do as well.
And then I give it to them later when they come out of the store. I've done that for Bill and Raymond a couple of times. Bill, Raymond, and Rocco I've done it for. Those are the 3 that I've done it for.
Yeah.
So it's, but I find myself doing some cool, different stuff. But my main focus is outside, exterior. That's always been this main thing for me, is to just have this whole thing done up the way I want it to be done.
It's just do you know what? I just spend all of my time outside. And do you know what I used to do as well? Every single day I would check both shops, make sure, see what, and I just don't now, because I guess you build up such a catalogue.
Well, the thing too is, and I want to, by this point, typically playing, we would have been on to our 3rd Nooks.
Yeah.
We would have had more items. They have not. And this is probably something for another show. But but the lack of items that they're bringing into this game is really bad.
Yeah.
I feel like they've cut the amount of items in this game.
Yeah.
So it almost feels like everything that I want, I have.
Yeah.
And that's not how it always was. It always was by the time you hit Nookingtons, you were so hyped because you had 3 stores of 3 floors of store to shop, and you don't have that no more.
Yeah.
So it's really lacking to me when I think big picture, in terms of that stuff. But it's definitely changed my perspective, and I probably actually spend more time in the museum now than I ever have in the past, just because the museum is so gorgeous.
Oh gosh, that's a home run for me. The museum. That butterfly room, every time I go in there, I swear on my life, every time I go in there, I'm lit up. Oh, look at this. Look at my butterflies. I always say to Iggy, oh, look at the butterflies. Because I tell you what I like, and what really... People, though, we love the museum. That's our thing.
Yeah, but it's just so in-depth. For me, when we started the diving, and then you go in there now, and you see, the coral and all that,
oh,
this is so gorgeous.
It's so good. It's just more life, and it's what we always talk about with how much charm New Leaf had. Mm-hmm. And it's just stuff like that just puts way more charm in it. Mm-hmm. I find the museum is so charming.
Yeah, I do too.
I really do.
Yeah.
That I love it. But yeah, it's such a different way to play. And I know I feel like I bring it up in every single Breaking Bells episode. When we did Breaking Bells live, we said we know it's Animal Crossing, but it's different. It's not, and to be honest, I've been playing New Leaf on the side, and I kind of like how disciplined you have to be.
It was structured. It was very structured.
I like the fact that my map looks kind of weird and I can't do anything about it really. Like I kind of like the whole work with what you've got, but then I like both. You know, you go on one side and you end up wanting the other. You know, you kind of go back and forth, but it is just such a different game to play. It's so different.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
So that is all. Thank you guys for watching another episode of Breaking Bells. Please let us know in the comments down below, like, do you feel you're playing differently than you have in the past? If so, how? What are you doing differently in this game? Be sure to check out the show every Monday and Wednesday over on Holly's channel, every Tuesday and Thursday over on my channel. That is all. Peace out, Preston.
Bye.